I put out a video last week about using AI, and one of the examples of how I used AI in my business was helping me with my bookkeeping. And a lot of people, rightfully so, called out in the comments that it's risky to share that data with AI, with an AI cloud model like Claude or GPT or Gemini, Grok. They're all, you're sending data into a computer somewhere and then you're getting a response. And so people call out that, oh, it's risky to send your bookkeeping information out into some computer that you're not in control of. And I 100% agree. And I wanted to just talk about that for a minute. So in that particular example, I took a CSV, which is a spreadsheet. I downloaded my bank, like all my bank transactions. It's a spreadsheet from my bank, and I downloaded all the transactions from my bookkeeping software. And then I opened both of those spreadsheets up and I deleted most of the columns because most of that information was irrelevant for what I was trying to do. All I was trying to do was to use AI to see if there were any transactions in one spreadsheet that didn't exist in the other, to help me make sure that every bank transaction was accurately accounted for in the bookkeeping and that the bookkeeping didn't have any extra stuff that wasn't an actual bank transaction. So I didn't have to give it account numbers. I didn't have to give it most of the info. All it needed to have was a list of dates and a list of transactions. And that was enough to help me do what I was trying to do. And so I've been working with AI and data for a long time. And so it's kind of, it's always in the back of my mind, like, what am I sharing? What do I need to share? What's happening here? For me personally, there's probably not too much information in my bookkeeping software that like is catastrophic if it somehow got leaked. Like if the company that does my bookkeeping software had a data breach, there's nothing really catastrophic in there. Like sure, there's some private information, but like no one's really going to be able to do a whole lot with it. But that's not going to be the case for everybody, and that's just the case for me in this situation. And so we each have to be aware and responsible for our own data and the data of our customers and account numbers and all those kinds of things, which is why I can't stress enough that like I recommend everybody like get Claude, start using just regular Claude or GPT, whatever you like to use. I think Claude's the best today, so that's what I use. And start using it daily for little things and just start developing a feel for it. Because it's a new technology and it's a new skill set that you have to have. And for those of us coming out of like the physical reality construction world, like we're building stuff all day, we're not dealing with digital stuff all the time. Like this isn't going to be second nature for you, but you have to learn it. This is a skill set that in 5 years, you know, there's going to be a big break between the people who don't know anything about how the digital world works and programming and data and all that, between them and the people who do understand this stuff. And the younger generation will come in taking this for granted and just knowing it like everyone's always, you know, like it's common knowledge. But for those of us who are alive and operating right now, like we have to learn it now. And it's just a skill. It's the cool thing about AI is as long as you're willing to ask questions and read the answers and troubleshoot and work through things, you don't need any outside help. That's one reason why I try not to put out tutorials on exactly how to do things, because how I use this today is probably going to be different in a month from now. This technology changes so fast that there's no point telling you exactly what to do today, because next week it's going to be different. But what I can tell you is to start using it and start asking questions and start developing an understanding of how computer programs work, how data works. You know, you might not know what an API is. Go ask Claude what an API is. I think the people who are early adopters to this AI stuff, they're the people who are naturally curious, adventurous, and like building things. Like when ChatGPT came out a few years ago, and I got it immediately and I just started using it without a concern of using it right or wrong or whatever. Just started doing it. And when I figured out that it could help me build a computer program that I wanted, I did it. And I did that over and over and over again, hundreds of times over the last couple of years. And so now, like in some ways, like I have a lot of the knowledge that a computer programmer or a coder has, but I didn't get it from a classic education or taking courses or anything. I got it from mucking through it every day with AI and learning it as I go. Because every time I do something and I don't fully understand what's going on, I just tell Claude, explain this to me like I'm 5 years old. Or sometimes if I think I know what I'm talking about, I'll ask it to explain it like I'm 10 years old. But it will break the concepts down into a simple way that's easy to digest. And if I still don't get it, I'll just keep asking questions until I get it. And that is the biggest advice I can give to anybody in regards to this technology, is just start using it and use it to learn about how to use it more. And use your imagination. If you're not particularly creative, it might not be second nature to you, but just go in and ask it like, hey, I want to do something like this. How is that possible? Or would it be possible to do this thing that I'm thinking of? Like anything that happens on a screen is pretty much possible. Your imagination is the only limiting factor. And so using it every day, starting to develop an understanding of what you're doing, and then you can slowly start connecting it to things. Like I just connected it to one of my Gmail accounts. So now it can read all the emails in that Gmail account. I connected it to an account that I'm okay with the data being out there. I didn't connect it to my account that's associated with important things like bank accounts and things like that. Maybe I could and it would be fine, but I'm not willing to take the risk yet because I'm not comfortable with it. And so we each have to go through that process for ourselves and adopt it slowly. And it's funny to say slowly because it's moving so fast that the adoption's happening quick, but take it at your own pace and just experiment with it. The biggest mindset switch I think a lot of people need is, in the old days, you go to YouTube to find a tutorial on how to do something. With AI, you don't really do it that way. You just go get the AI app and you ask it what to do and how to do things, and then you work with it kind of like you would work with a person to like get closer to your goal. Because the fact of the matter is there's very few people on YouTube actually talking about utilizing it for real, because most people are just trying to make content and make money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the technology is so different than it was a month ago that most of the content out there about specifics isn't relevant today. So moral of the story, you want to be careful with what you put into it. And the best way to figure out what's okay and what's not okay as far as utilizing AI is by doing it every day and just getting comfortable with the technology, developing the understanding and the skill set.